Welcome to another episode of You Know Ball, baby. Brought to you by the Run the Play
Network. What's that?
It's the Cam Ward.
What is that? What does he do?
That's just what he does. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it is.
What, he's stinky and he trying to
That's
catch a ghost or something?
Gets a touchdown.
Somebody tell me in the comments what this means.
Comment down below what Cam Ward means. Today we're gonna be going through
picking up some smelly trash because the team's booty. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Because imagine he's just like,
imagine
he's taking out trash.
Right, imagine he said that in a post-game interview. They're like, "Hey, Cam Ward, what's that mean?" He's like, "Picking up some smelly trash because the other team's booty."
I think that was tough, low key. Anthony Edwards needs to do that, bro.
He probably will. Nah, today we're going to be going through and talking about Anthony Edwards. We're going to be talking about every playoff series so far in the playoffs. And if you want to chat with us about these playoff series, make sure to join our Discord down below where we're chatting about ball every day, bruv.
Bruv?
Every day, bruv. We're talking about ball every day, bruv. Today we're going to be going through series by series, talking about what happened in the Lakers series. Phil's boys lost. Talking about in the Thunder series, my boys won. Yeah, let's start with the series that are still active though.
Gotcha.
So right now we have the Rockets Warriors still going on. We have the Clippers Nuggets still going on. Knicks Pistons still going on.
Yep. And then
that might be it.
I think we only have 3 left.
3 left.
3 series. Let me double check though.
Let's talk about this Rockets series. Because I do feel like this series might not be over yet.
3 left.
3 left. This series might not be over left between the Rockets and the Warriors. There's a lot of Jalen Green hate going out on the timeline right now. Draymond Green has been Draymond Green the whole fucking series.
It's been terrible, bro.
It has. What have you thought about this series so far?
I think it's been a fun series to watch. My only problem is like the complaints coming from the Warriors fans. And then also like the stuff I'm seeing on accounts about how like the Rockets are playing dirty, doing this, doing that. I'm like, and then they're talking about physicality, like if it's being too much. I'm like, if you think about it, every series this year, we've been talking about it. Every series we've been watching has been physical.
Yeah.
Everybody's going at it. I think the only other fan base talking mess about it is the Knicks, but that's because maybe some foul calls aren't being made to go to the free throw line.
But they foul bait too.
That's what I'm saying. They're foul baiting.
Piss me off. We're gonna talk about that too.
But for them to complain and then seeing what Draymond's been doing, I'm like, you guys have no right to complain. And then Jimmy, I was watching game 4 or game 5? Jimmy went straight up, and as much as I don't like Dylan Brooks as a player, he went straight. He wasn't going for the ball in that play, and he full on pushed him, and it was a dangerous play. So, I mean, for them to complain saying like, oh, the Rockets doing this, Rockets doing that, y'all doing the same stuff.
Yeah, they called the Amen play dirty when Draymond literally tripped him. Like, that's all Draymond. The refs.
I didn't like that.
I feel like, and I don't talk about the refs. I mean, I feel like I've been saying that every week, so maybe I do talk about the refs a lot. But they have been protecting Draymond. They protected Draymond last game.
Yeah.
No player that has a fucking tech in a game could grab a player by their jersey like this and not get ejected. Like, that's ridiculous. It's just not good for basketball, you know? What Draymond Green does is not basketball, bro, majority of the time. And I know everyone wants to glaze him, and you look at advanced stats and all this bullshit. And, oh, I watch Draymond. I love Draymond. Like, bro, I'll say this a billion times just to push the Draymond sucks narrative. Draymond will make an amazing play, and I'll be like, wow, like, maybe I'm wrong about him. And then he'll go down the court and dribble off his fucking knee or turn the ball over. Like, that shit, if any other superstar player did that, when Jaylen Brown can't go left, we shit on Jaylen Brown. But when Draymond Green rolls it off his foot, it's like, well, that's Draymond. Like,
yeah, he'll get it back in the next play.
Yeah, like, nah, bro, he does that shit so much. It's ridiculous. And then the last play where Draymond was talking shit to Şengün.
Yeah.
After Şengün missed the game winner. Draymond Green got put in the fucking basket. Şengün just missed the shot.
Yeah.
You know, I saw people saying that he may have rushed the shot. I don't think he rushed it. I think maybe he would have rushed it if he made it and the Warriors scored, then I would have said he rushed it.
Yeah.
You know, but he got to his spot. That's a baby hook. That's like Şengün's game. He just missed it, and that's fine. It's not like Draymond like had an amazing contest or closeout or nothing like that. Like Şengün got to his spot. It was a clear out. I'm not mad at that shot.
Honestly, that's another reason why I agree with you saying, like, well, obviously I'm going to agree with you because I'm a Laker fan hating a little bit. But at the same time, looking at it as basketball, Jimmy Butler got 3 free throws before that, and it was because of hand touch on his ribs or something like that when that Dylan Brooks committed when he was going up for a 3. Draymond Green did the same thing to Alperen Sengun. Yeah. He did the exact same thing. Hand up, hand on his side, nothing. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like, oh, yeah, but he didn't push him. Dylan Brooks didn't push Jimmy Butler. He just had his hand right there. Yeah. So, I mean, if we being fair and if we go on spade to spade, that should have been a foul. Yeah. It should have been, by logic of what happened in those last 30 seconds. But, Draymond Green, he's the elite defensive player of the year. Oh, wait, Evan Mobley won. Yeah. Thank God for that, too. But I don't know, bro. I'm just so tired of, the complaints about the physicality after, a whole season of, oh, nobody can really play defense. Oh, everybody's protected. They're not protecting anybody. They're letting us play. So shut up.
The narratives about basketball are so sad because if you watch basketball, they're wrong. Mm-hmm. I've seen people early or most of the season saying, oh, I just can't watch basketball, bro. Every team plays the same. If you're watching the fucking playoffs right now, every team is so unique. So unique. Just because they take a similar amount of threes, maybe, you could say that, but that's just lame. That's not accurate. The way threes are generated is different. Mm. The way teams get to the basket is different. Yeah. The way teams use their bigs is different. The way teams don't use bigs, Lakers, is different, So it's all different, bro. It's all very different. My last couple things on this series, I don't like the way Jalen Green's being talked about. Mm-hmm. People are saying bench him. There's not a better scorer on the Rockets than Jalen Green. Mm-hmm. I know Sengun puts the ball in the basket more, but as far as I'm going to give someone the ball, go get a bucket, Jalen Green is the best at that. And sure, he's having a bad series, but if you want to make it far in the playoffs, then you need that guy. Mm-hmm. You need that guy that's going to go get you a shot. You can't bench him for a defensive player because once the fourth quarter hits, then he's on ice, Yeah. And it's just not going to be the same. He needs to get in rhythm. So I think playing him as much and dealing with his struggles, whether that's win or lose, because realistically, you're not going to win if he's struggling either way. So, and then Amen Thompson, Steph Curry's been so tough this series, but I got to give credit where it's due. Amen Thompson has been playing amazing defense on Steph and Curry. Now, I still kind of think Amen Thompson's potential is a little overrated. That might be a hot take, just because I think there's a ceiling with a guy like that. It's always once he develops a shot, he's going to be great. But Amen Thompson's been training to be an NBA player his whole life, and he hasn't developed a shot. So I wouldn't go there. Sure, if he develops a shot, he'll be great, but I just don't think that's realistic. Anyway, that's besides the point. Amen Thompson has been playing amazing defense on Steph Curry this whole playoff series. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think the Rockets still have a bright future. Yeah. I think the Rockets still are a valid 2 seed. Mm-hmm. The Warriors experience just kind of got them.
Yeah. One thing I do appreciate about this series too to watch is that both teams hate each other. Yeah. And it's physical, but that aspect going into it or that element being added to it is perfect because now you have actual competitive basketball where both sides are playing competitive. You have Brandon Podziemski being physical and shooting and getting rebounds. You got Jimmy Butler being physical. I know we talked mess about Draymond Green and all that, but he's being physical and going at it. But it's the same thing with the Rockets. Alperen Sengun's going at him. Amen Thompson's going at him. Dylan Brooks is going at him. Fred VanVleet, he hasn't shown up offensively sometimes, but they're all going at each other, and I love watching that. Yeah. It's been fun to watch.
It has. And I feel a lot of the series have that competitiveness. The Pacers-Bucks had that. Lakers-Timberwolves, I don't think it was hate, but there was definitely that competitive edge in that series. Mm-hmm. The Cavs and Miami hated each other for sure. You see Kyle Anderson post game?
What did he say? Or what did he do?
They asked him what's been the difference in Game 3 and Game 4, and he was honestly, they look better without Garland. He's just disrespectful. But yeah, I feel there is a lot more hate in the playoffs, which I think is good for basketball. Oh yeah, it kind of sucks as a Thunder fan because I don't feel we're gonna have that with any teams. Mm-hmm. Maybe the Nuggets, but I don't think I think the only teams that we probably had beef with was the Lakers because of the media, and then the Mavericks because of the Mavericks. Yeah, but, yeah. I feel every series is just gonna be humble, humble basketball, humble hoops.
That's true, but just to, because Did you have anything else to add to the Rockets Warriors?
No, I don't.
Just to finish it off, do you think that the Rockets can come back?
I do. I don't think the series is over. I think there's a lot of swings in these games that could have went the Rockets' way and could have decided the series a little bit differently. Yeah, I don't think it's over. I think if Jalen Green shows up in Game 6 and Game 7, then Rockets win this series. You know, as crazy as that is, there's just a lot going wrong for the Rockets that probably shouldn't be going wrong.
Yeah,
you know, and I think Draymond's a tech away from a suspension.
Oh wait, you're kidding?
He might be a tech away.
For real?
Yeah, I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw that online that he's a tech away, which would obviously swing the series because now Şengün is going at TJD, which is barbecue chicken.
I'll check and see if that's true later because that would be insane. But yeah, I think I don't know because they are going back to Golden State and playing in their arena, and their fans are crazy when it comes to it. But I think maybe it's just that thumb that I think maybe they have a chance with on Curry because it is inflamed a little bit or swelling. So I don't know how that's gonna.
Is it on a shooting hand?
Actually, yeah, I think it's on his right hand.
Okay.
Because I saw like both of his thumbs kind of looked a little large, but I think the photo that I saw was on his right hand.
He'll figure it out though. He'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine though.
Let's go to the East for the next series.
Got you.
The Knicks and the Pistons.
Yeah,
this is another series we haven't really talked about with the hate. I feel like these teams hate each other for sure.
Oh,
There's beef. Jalen Duren, he told Brunson or Hart, he was like, "You flopping motherfucker."
Oh yeah, Duren told Brunson.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Brunson.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like this series has been one of the more interesting ones. I feel like not a lot of adjustments have been made this series. It's just kind of like whoever's night it is whoever's night it is, which is cool to watch. What do you think about this series? You think the Pistons are out of it?
Bro, I don't think they're out of it, but I just want to say I love the way Cade Cunningham's been playing in this series, bro. Like, Pistons basketball is here and Cade Cunningham is here, and he's the real deal. Yeah. And I love the way they're playing. I want to give a big shout out to Tobias Harris because he's been playing really well. And, you know, I feel bad the way the 76ers, like, that whole thing went down because I did feel like there was something with him. It's just that it didn't seem like he was being played right. And here, I think it's just the attitude they have. He can just fit in wherever he wants. And I think it's been the rebounding and just been able to fill in on the defensive side more. He's shooting it pretty well. Like, I think last game he had like 14 points with 9 or 10 rebounds, but
he was playing very well.
Yeah, I love it. I love the Pistons basketball. I love the way Dennis Schroeder is going at people. I love the other Thompson twin going in on Brunson. Yeah. And I just love
call him his name, Asar. Put some respect on him.
Yeah. But going to the Knicks, since Deucer wants to be all like because he's a Knicks fan, just letting you guys know. The Knicks are playing pretty well too. The bench has been a little weird, but that last game, Brunson was in a jail cell, bro.
Bro, Jalen Brunson this series has been frustrating for me. Yeah. Because he's too good to be like foul baiting consistently and doing stuff like that. I think when it was what game did we watch?
Was it game 2?
You watched with me. It was Sunday.
That was game 4 then.
Game 4, Brunson wasn't looking for the foul and just chucking shots and everything was going in. You know, like I need to see that from him. I don't want to see like, I understand it's exhausting when Mikal can't hit the fucking rim.
Oh yeah.
And OG is dealing with that shoulder and Cat isn't 25 and 10 like he was during the regular season.
Yeah.
So I understand he's a little exhausted, but if they're going to win, Jalen Brunson needs to be, I'm going to ISO and put the ball in the basket, you know? And he's definitely got that in him to carry a team no matter who the fuck's guarding him. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they adjust, what they do. Cade Cunningham, I love to see a first playoff appearance type of guy not go out there and choke because I don't think he's going to have that like in his head. You know what I mean? Like once a player goes out there and chokes, it kind of sticks with them. Cade Cunningham, obviously it won't. Malik Beasley is having a great series. Tim Hardaway Jr. is having a great series.
Oh, yeah.
Like if the Pistons have all their guys firing, they're kind of a tough team. And that was my question on them. Like, are they going to be this team in the playoffs? Is everyone going to be working? And they are. So I know they're down 3-2, but I could see them winning the series as well.
Oh, yeah. I just love how, like, in my opinion, this has been my favorite series to watch.
Really?
Like, this has been my favorite. Like, I just love the way both teams are going at each other and the fact that they're not backing down from one another. Like if one team does something, or if one person does something to punk the other person's doing the same thing back. Like Dennis Schroeder's going at Jalen Brunson just like Jalen Brunson's going at Dennis Schroeder's
having a great series.
That too. And I don't know. I am low-key pulling for the Pistons now only because of that Game 4 mishap where they didn't call that foul on that last shot.
But, yeah, that was insane. That was the game we were watching.
Yeah.
That was insane.
I thought that was... Well, I mean, it's high-pressure basketball, so it's going to happen, but I just feel bad for him. I'm sorry, Deucer. I feel bad, and I want the Pistons to win.
See, this is the... This is the thing, right? Deucer's a troll. So we're watching that with my dad, and they take the shot. They obviously get fouled. They don't call. And Isaiah's over here. He's like, it's not a foul. My dad's like, that was obviously a foul. And then Isaiah's like, if it was a foul, they would have called it.
I would be so mad if I was a Pistons fan.
My pops thinks he's serious. So it was funny because I know he's fucking trolling. And my pops thought he was dead ass. But that was a good game to watch. That was a fun ass game to watch. A bad call. I thought even Tobias Harris got fouled on the rebound. But, you don't really call that. But the shot, they definitely should have called. But who knows? Maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. doesn't make a free throw.
That's true.
You never know. Never know. Let's go to the West. I said traitor. Let's go to the West. But before we do, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Boom. Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh, shit, he hit it?
Yeah, bro. I won
$200. I told you parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you got to hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video.
Shout out Boom Fantasy. I just learned today that on Thursdays, they have free bet Thursdays.
Oh.
So every Thursday you get a risk-free bet, you get the money back, which is like, I mean, that's free, and you
that's
already
perfect.
get a risk-free bet if you're betting with our code RTP. Mm-hmm. So you get a little best of both worlds there. Clippers Nuggets, bro. I wanted to go to this game so bad today. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to go. I don't think I'm gonna, but the Nuggets can close it out tonight.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, this has been my favorite series to watch because this series has been war. It's been a chess match.
Oh yeah.
It was great seeing Jamal Murray finally wake up because I think if Jamal Murray plays like this, then this team is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
But we just haven't really seen that. Russ has been the one that's needed to step up.
Russ went crazy in the last game. He had 21 off the bench.
I need to see a Norman Powell game like that because Norman Powell has been awful this series. I know he had a great regular season, so it kind of set the bar a little high. But as far as what's going on in the playoffs, he's been meh at best. He dropped down 9 points per game from the regular season. So, yeah, that Aaron Gordon dunk was insane.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was off when I watched it live, clockwise. But when you go frame by frame, bro, it was insane how perfect that was.
Yeah.
That was just good feel.
Do you feel like his hand was still on the ball still?
Nah. It was perfect. It was literally, you could not have a more perfect finish right there than what he did. It was so perfect. It was insane. The best miss of all time. That's what they're saying.
Bro, I was so shook because I really thought they were about to get Laker Jokic.
Uh-huh.
But then right when it went up and then I saw it about to airball, I was like, oh, that sucks. And then boom, I was like, what? Where did you come from?
That was insane.
But that's because Harden missed the box out on Aaron Gordon.
And they doubled Jokic, I think, correct?
I think.
Or I guess there's the inbounder up there anyway. I was going to say someone was probably free. But yeah, no, that was wild, bro. And it sucks. If the Clippers go out because of that, that's 2 series they lost because of a alley-oop or tipping.
No way.
Because Phoenix, the value with DeAndre
Ayton,
so it's the Clippers curse. Lob City losing off of 2 lobs. That's fucked up.
That's poetic.
That is poetic.
That's poetic.
Christian Braun has been a very big disappointment in this series.
Oh.
He's shooting under 20% from 3.
Okay.
You just need to be better. Michael Porter Jr. has had a very up and down series. I think if this team could get consistent, they could beat the Thunder in the second round. As far as the Nuggets go, the Clippers, I feel the same way. I think I'm looking forward to a Clippers Thunder Nuggets series because I think the Thunder had it easy with the Grizzlies and it's gonna kind of set the bar in the next round.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you got finishing out this series?
Well, at first, just saying, I had the Flippers winning in 6, but after the last 2 games I saw and the fact that the Nuggets took fully over, I think it's Nuggets.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Nuggets. If we get a game 7 and if we do get a game 7, it's going to be in Denver, and I don't think Denver is going to back down. So I don't think the Nuggets can lose. I think these last 2 games were key for the Flippers to cut it off. Like, now they're going back to LA, and I really thought it was just going to be like, oh, they just closed it out because they're going to be up 3-2. But man, I don't know how you stop this team now. They got the energy. They got Westbrook believing in it. They got Jamal Murray now believing in it. And now they're probably going to do their whole 2-man action with Jokic and Jamal Murray when they set those stupid screens up top, which are perfect. And then it's either going to be a 3 from either of them or a back door from both of them. Like, I think they're locked in now. I think Orange Juice is activated. And I think that even if you stop them on it, Aaron Gordon's going to be open for a 3, or Aaron Gordon's going to dunk it, or Michael Porter Jr. is going to shoot, or he's going to dunk it, or even Westbrook's going to shoot it.
Yeah.
Because Westbrook's been hitting some clutch threes, bro.
Yeah, Westbrook's shooting better than Braun.
No way.
Yeah.
No
Christian
way.
Braun has been very bad this series, bro.
Shout out to you, Westbrook.
If the Clippers win this series, that's what I was just checking, then I don't get a series wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I would have hit on every series in the first. Or no. Actually, that's a lie because I didn't take the Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. But my bad. On me. I don't know. Oh.
But because were you ending it? I'm sorry.
I got one more thing about this. I think the Clippers, like, it's kind of bad that they're down because so much went wrong their way too. I mean, they had that Aaron Gordon buzzer beater.
Yeah.
They had a Jamal Murray 40 ball. And that Russ game are all of their losses.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks because it's pretty unlikely that all that happens in one series. That was all I'm going to say. Like, the Clippers, I think, still have played, like, the better
cohesive team.
Yes, that's literally the word I was looking for. The better team, but the Nuggets are just having the playoff luck. Maybe it's the playoff experience go their way. And that's kind of what's leading them. But yeah, that's what I was going to say about it.
No problem. Well, first off, I just wanted to say big shout out to, well, you know what? I forgot the first thing I was going to say, so I'm just going to go Kawhi.
Yes.
I think it's disrespectful how some Flippers fans are talking about Kawhi. On Twitter, there were like, at first I saw one and I was like, okay, just fan mad. I saw a second one and I was like, okay, this is weird. And I saw a third one and I was like, all right, what are you guys doing? I don't know if it's Twitter Flippers fans freaking out, but there's people hating on Kawhi in this series. And I'm like, guys, he's healthy. He's giving you 20 plus, and he just had a game where he was one off from a triple double.
Like, he's that game where he had
everything.
40 with only 3 misses.
That too. I was like, he's giving you everything. Why are we hating on him? I'm impressed with what he's doing in this series. I am.
I think it's just they're getting outplayed. Like, I wouldn't blame. The only player you could blame, I guess, is Norman Powell. I think they have a similar thing with the Lakers where they kind of are lacking that bench score.
Yeah.
Like, they needed someone to go out there and spark. Because the Nuggets don't have that either. Yeah. I think if either team had a guy that's just like, actually, the Nuggets do have that in Westbrook. If the Clippers had a guy that could go out there and just consistently get them 15 off the bench, then I think this team would be elite, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just they're missing that. Norman Powell could get moved to the bench and, like, be that for them, but I doubt they do that. Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely a chess match type of series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that Russ played for the Flippers last year.
Yeah.
So I was wondering why Westbrook fans were going in on the Flippers, and I was like, oh, because they kicked y'all out. I forgot. But honestly, if Russ wins this, I'm going to be happy for him.
I'm going to be happy for him, too. That's why, like, I was saying this before the pod, because I'm a Thunder fan. If we played the Nuggets, like, I would probably be mad in the moment when we lose. But if I got to see Russ hold up a Larry O, then I'm cool with it. You know, like, it ain't nothing. Let's talk about the series that are finished up now.
Yep.
Let's talk about the boring ones first, right?
All right.
The Thunder Grizz sweep. My big takeaway is Jalen Williams and Chet actually hooping for once, or in the playoffs, like getting that monkey off of their back. J-Dub 23, 5-5. Chet 19, 8 and 3 blocks a game. My knock on the Thunder though is only Memphis and the Magic have shot worse than them from 3 in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Like, I know we're not a 3-point shooting team, but that's almost unacceptable. Like, we're shooting sub 30% from 3. So they got to figure that out if they want to make a playoff run.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to shoot 45, 50% from 3 or nothing like that. But the way we shot in some of those games, like our defense won us those games. If we could have that defense and knock down open shots, then we're going to be straight. But yeah. Did you have anything about this series? We don't got to talk too much about these series.
I was going to say, like, you guys pretty much handled business the way we thought, like Thunder in 4.
Yeah.
We pretty much figured you guys were going to sweep them, but I'm still impressed with how Jalen Williams has stepped up. I know it hasn't been too much on SGA's part, but I mean, at the same time, like, he doesn't have to go crazy in this.
Yeah.
It's just win. So you guys did what you had to do. I think you guys are going to win. I'm going to say Thunder in 5, no matter who you guys play next series.
Really?
I'm going to say Thunder in 5.
I got to see how it looks to start. It's good that we're getting the rest, though.
Yeah.
But we just got to knock down our shots. Cavs Heat was a sweep. That was probably the most boring series. I feel like the Cavs showed how they have 0 holes in the Cavs have 0 holes as a team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's just nothing they really can't do. I also think like I don't want to knock the play-in because I have so much fun watching the play-in.
Yeah.
But a 37-win team playing against a team that won 65 games, like that's bad.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's bad. You know, the play-in's fun though. But
yeah.
You had anything you wanted to say about that?
Well, y'all won without Darius Garland.
Yeah, that's good. Kyle Anderson's right.
I don't know. Like, there were some things fun to like see, but Miami just couldn't handle the Cavs. That's pretty much it. Like, they lost by 55.
Yeah, that was a mess. That was a fucking mess.
I don't know what we can say. Like, I guess just do better next year.
And then the last series that's kind of like dead, and then we have 2 good series to talk about. So we're not just ending the pod here.
Yeah.
But Celtics Magic, that one was rough. It's like Paolo and friends. And we're gonna do an episode next week on all the teams that are eliminated and what they need to do. So we're probably not gonna talk too much about what the Orlando Magic did bad. But do you think the Knicks could beat the Celtics in the next round? Or Pistons, not to knock Detroit fans.
Yeah, so if the Knicks play the Celtics next round, I don't know if they can. I think they make it competitive, but the one thing that's worrisome, I saw clips on it, was Jalen Brunson's ankle was still getting agitated a whole bunch of times, and he's gotten back and forth to the locker room even in this series.
Yes, last game.
Yeah, so if it gets worse where it's messing with him, which I think it will, just like the Indiana Pacers thing last year, I don't think they can beat the Celtics.
I don't think so.
I don't think they can.
And I also think that foul baiting shit won't work with Drew Holiday and Derek White.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to go for that. They have too much of a rapport with the refs to let that fly. But I do think maybe Jalen Brunson won't try to foul bait because he's going against those guys.
Yeah.
And I also think the Knicks have the wings to guard the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they beat the Celtics either.
Yeah, I think they're just too comfortable, and I think that playing Orlando was just exactly the competition they needed to get like a good warm-up, but then for the second round it's going to be not a blowout, but they'll win.
I feel very similarly to Tatum how I do with Jalen Williams, where it was really good to see him get like a great playoff series out of the way, because he started off so shaky to begin the series, and then I think he finished averaging like 34, 33 in the series. So I think if Jason Tatum goes on like a legacy type of run, we might have to have some conversations about Tatum. I personally think Jason Tatum is a top 4 player in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I'd say top 4 because what do you do? SGA, Jokic, Giannis, and then I go Tatum.
Tatum, yeah. I feel like most people would have Luka. But I think it kind of...
right now.
And we could talk about the Lakers series, I guess. We should go into it. But I think that series kind of showed like how overrated points, rebounds, assists are. Because Anthony Edwards was clearly the best player that whole series. You know, maybe not the first 2 games, but after that, like, it was a mess.
Yeah,
that series specifically.
Well, when they went to Minnesota, he was the clear best. Like, when the first 2 games, it was like, okay, he's doing pretty good. But I mean, his team just really helped like fill the holes.
I agree. And
like, oh my bad.
No, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Nah, I wanted to give a big shout out on that. Like, Like, yeah, they beat the Lakers, but I mean, I like their team. I like Minnesota. I can't be mad at them. Like, yeah, I'm mad at them for beating us, but I can't just be like, oh, they suck, this and that. They played really good basketball.
Yes.
They played really good basketball. They went on our weaknesses. And I mean, yes, Anthony Edwards, he played really well, but I think his team just stepped up, and it was the perfect example of a next man up mentality. Also, shout out to Rudy Gobert. Had a good game.
Yeah.
Game 5.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's for knocking his ass. No, I think what I'm trying to say, though, is, and I know the Lakers don't have the role players to step up, really, but the Luka Doncic play style, like, it needs to change. I don't think heliocentric basketball works anymore, where it's a guy gets the ball, everyone clears out, and then if a shooter's open, they'll knock it down. Like, I think it needs to be back to that Spurs style, swing, swing, swing. Whoever's open, next man up, because it's so hard to get rhythm like that when you're just standing in the corner the whole game, you know? So that's just how I feel personally, and that's kind of the conversation we had on stream, where I think his playmaking's a little overrated because he has the opportunities to do stuff like that, and we don't have to bring up that conversation again.
Gotcha.
But that's kind of my point on it, where it's like, it's hard for everyone else to get a rhythm when it's just like, Luka gets the ball ISO, Austin Reeves gets the ball ISO, LeBron gets the ball ISO, and let's hope that they help off and a shooter gets open, because for the most part, they're going to be standing in the corner the whole game. Yeah. And it's just like, that's not, you're an NBA player. Like, sure, you train to be in the corner after a certain point in your career, but that's not most of your training regime. Now, I think the problem the Lakers really had in this series, though, was they got out-coached. Chris Finch coached his ass off this series. And I know you love JJ, but I did not like the way he responded to that reporter yesterday. I thought that was immature, because the reporter didn't say, why don't you talk to your assistants, you know? JJ Redick just, like, fired himself up answering the question. That pissed me off, because I thought that was, I don't know. I think it's disrespectful to the media, and I get you're a rookie coach and all that, and you got to be able to handle all that. And I understand he cares, too. It's better than Darvin Ham just like saying a yup or some bullshit like that. But I did not like that.
Nah, I'm gonna be for real. I didn't think that was a dumb question. That was a dumb question the reporter asked.
What was the question?
It was pretty much, are you gonna go to your stinking assistants?
That's not what he said, though.
That's what he asked.
No, that's what JJ said. He said the dude asked, which assistant do you go to? Which is
why should that be a question? Like
because that's like you want to know that stuff. You know, that's gathering more. Asking, do you go to your assistants? I understand, because obviously he goes to his assistants. But asking which assistant do you go to? I don't think you're a Laker fan. You watch every game. Which assistant does he go to for subs? You don't know that answer. So that's a good question for the media to ask.
Everything okay?
I think the problem.
I have a take. Okay. I listened to it with you, and I think I'm more with Phil, but not that the question was like dumb. I think that was a genuine question. Like, you didn't put in any subs this game. Who do you go to when you discuss subs? Like, why? He was basically just asking. I think he like was dancing around asking that question. Like, why did you do what you did during that game? I don't think that's a bad question. I think that's a normal like journalist question to like write about, because maybe JJ Redick had a good answer. Maybe he did that for a good reason, but he just like snapped and got mad, and I think that's proof that he didn't think about it, and that was just a dumb play by him.
That's fair too.
So does that mean you're with Ant?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're with Ant.
So I was like, wait. Phil, everything that I said.
I was like, wait.
I was saying like I agree with Phil with like the question wasn't who do you go to for subs. I think the journalist did a bad job of wording it.
But that literally was his question. Who do you go to?
No, but like what he's at.
I think the problem was maybe the preface of saying like, oh, you did all this bad stuff last game, and maybe that's what fired JJ up. But the question he asked the journalist was, who do you go to for subs? Not do you go to anyone for subs? Not do you make all those decisions on your own? You're a rookie coach. You're a dumbass. Because that's what JJ made it seem like. The guy was just shitting on him. But the guy asked him, who do you go to for subs? Yeah. And JJ fired himself up and was like, why? Because I'm a rookie coach? You don't think I talk to my assistants? Like, he's asking you, which assistant do you talk to?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that you really need to know that. Like,
but that's like, information, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's a good article.
But it's like now it seems like he's gonna put his assistant like on blast now.
That's fair too.
Yeah, I feel like it's fine the way he answered it. I actually liked it. I was like, bro, you don't got to deal with this. Like, you got a game to focus on because it's an elimination game. I was just more like, if you really want to know that, just watch the clip or game back and look at who he talked to like before in that third or fourth quarter to see what he needed to sub in. But it seemed like he was trying to put his whole like coaching roster on blast. And I respect JD for going like, well, because I'm like to maybe get it off balance. But I'm like,
maybe if that's the case, sure. But I don't think that's what he was doing. I think he genuinely got fired up about it. If he said like, are you trying to get me to put someone on blast? Then that would have been a different response than, oh, I'm a rookie coach. I'm a bad coach. You don't think I could do this? You don't like, you know, like cry about it, bro. Like he just like fired himself up over the question that was not asked.
Yeah, the way he stormed off was really disrespectful. Like I just think like,
and look, I'm studying journalism. I hate when journalists ask dumb questions. Izzy was talking to me about the fucking Thunderbolt screening and someone asking him about like memes. You know, like that's just dumb. But he asked him a good question. Like that's you as a Laker fan who watches every game said you don't know who he goes to. So whether you think that's good, relevant information or not, that's information. I know, like that's stuff you don't know. That's what a journalist is supposed to do.
I know, but at that moment, like I don't think I wouldn't want to answer that question. It's like, bruh, like we got an elimination game. You asking me about a game from the like we lost.
If he asked him that after that game, he probably would have stormed off too.
Okay, if he stormed off in that one, then maybe it's like, okay, all right. But now we're in game 5. Now we're focused on elimination game. Ask me what's going on for game 5. Don't ask me about what happened last game. Like, I understood that.
But I think he even asked, who are you going to lean on this game? Like, for the subs. That's just what I think. I thought it was, like, childish almost. And, like, shout out JJ. I was rooting for JJ all year this year. But JJ did a shit job this series. Objectively, not subbing anyone in, whether you think that's JJ's fault or you think that's the assistant's fault.
No, game 4, that was his fault.
If any other coach did that, then we wouldn't be talking about the coach. We wouldn't be, oh, maybe he was an assistant. You know, like if any other coach did that, we should on him. Game 5, I thought you don't start with a small ball lineup. Small ball comes in later on. Sure, you're trying something new, but the second Rudy Gobert has 8 rebounds in the first quarter, you should fucking put a center in the game.
Yes.
I agree. And
oh, my bad.
I was happy to see Maxi Kleber get burned. You know, I don't think he had a great game or nothing like that, but it was cool you got to experiment with different bigs, you know? And then game 1, I didn't watch the full game, but everyone online was saying that their offense was stale. Like, they just weren't moving. Yeah. And you could blame JJ, you could blame the players on the court, but if you're fucking up the rotations, you're running a small ball lineup to start, everyone's stale in game 1. That sounds like a coaching problem. And he's a first-year coach. He's going to be better next year. But you can't act like this dude was like Popovich off rip. That's all I'm saying. Chris Finch coached his ass off. Chris Finch, everything the Lakers adjusted to, Chris Finch had an answer for. And that goes to their roster too, because the Lakers don't have the players to respond to that roster. Yeah. But they could have if they didn't want to fuck over Mark Williams.
It was a bad matchup. It was a bad matchup. It was a bad matchup. You know, I said Lakers in 6. Thought it was going to be, but that's because I thought that, I'm be for real, I like the small ball aspect of it. I wanted small ball to start and then have Jackson Hayes sub in for those mistakes. Like, for example, last night, we were talking about it, like whether you guys were trolling or not, but I did like what we were doing because I knew that it was going to grow into us being more physical, which we did get to. And then we were going to get to the way we play basketball more. But the problem was, I thought that we were going to sub in Jackson Hayes for those mishaps. When Rudy Gobert started getting, what do you have, 4 offensive rebounds in the first quarter? I was thinking, okay, let's start incorporating Hayes in a couple times to stop that. But we didn't. Yeah. We put in Maxi Kleber and we put in Gabe Vincent if things weren't working with Dorian Finney-Smith or Jared Vanderbilt. But that was a mistake on JJ Redick's part. But in his defense, what have I been saying the last 3 years? We need the center. We need the center. We need the center. We need a center. When we had AD, we need the starting center. When we had Marc Gasol, we needed the backup center. We ain't got no centers. So going into this series, I told everybody, that is the one thing that they're going to easily exploit. I was thinking we would win because maybe our 3 dudes, they score 20 plus, 25 plus, and we're good. It wasn't happening, so small ball wasn't working, obviously. But obviously, going next year, get me 2 centers. Give me 2 centers. Give me 2 centers and maybe a wing, but I'm focused on centers fully.
I'm curious what they do. I personally, if I were them, I would get a center, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Day'Ron Sharpe is going to be the best option for you guys as far as getting someone young, getting someone that could be a pick and roller, because I think he's better than Capella and Brook Lopez. I don't think Miles Turner is realistic. If they could get Miles Turner, go get Miles Turner, you know? But I don't see that as a realistic outcome. And I think they need to get a small ball, like a real small ball 5. If that's the offense they want to run, get someone who can stand in the corner and shoot.
Yeah.
You know, but DFS just isn't that.
Yeah. So
I mean, and that's okay, but
I never wanted him to be a small ball 5. I was shook that he was even listed as a 5 on that roster. But yeah, for next year, if you want to play small ball 5, keep Maxi Kleber, see what he does, and then get a starting center, like a starting center. But we got to figure out what we want to do. Like, we got to figure out what play style we want to do, because next year's a championship run. It's championship or bust next year. I'm being for real. It's championship or bust.
I might be out on the Lakers after this series. You know, I said next year is going to be a year where they're more dominant, and I do think they could have a dominant regular season with this team adding a center.
Yeah.
But I watched a video by Nerd Sesh. Shout out Nerd Sesh. They make great basketball content. And the top comment on that video was, it's not about what team has the best superstars anymore. It's about what team has the worst, weakest link. And the Lakers have the worst, weakest links on the court for most of the game. Like, I don't think you could win a championship with Austin Reeves and Luka as your backcourt. As far as player personnel wise, as far as offense goes, that is elite, but that's just too easy to pick at. Even when Curry was the lead guard in Golden State, Klay Thompson was like the best perimeter defender in the league. You know, you had Andre Iguodala, you had Draymond, you had people that could switch and cover Curry. Austin Reeves, and I'm not knocking Austin Reeves here because I think he's a great player.
Oh yeah,
but you just can't do that. You know, he can't be that savior for Luka. You know. So I would love to see an Austin Reeves trade where they get a big or they get a 3-and-D type of guy. Yeah. I think that's the biggest problem. And then on the other side of the ball, like Jackson Hayes is kind of a cone. Jared Vanderbilt you could leave in the corner. I feel like you could leave LeBron. You know, like I'm not like sure you got to guard him, but I'm not stressing about LeBron catching the ball in the corner and shooting a 3. There's a lot of problems with the Lakers team that I don't think it takes one off season to fix. I think it's going to take a couple, and you have Luka, so you'll be fine, obviously. Yeah. But I think once it comes playoffs time, like this time next year, I could see us talking ourselves into the Lakers again. I got to remind myself not to do that the same way I do with the Clippers, just because there's too many weak links on this team, too many things to target. Now, to talk about Minnesota for a second, I think I'm ready for the Anthony Edwards face of the league conversations. You know, I don't think he's the best player in the league, but I think he is an elite basketball player. Like, I'm back. I think he's the best 2-guard in the league now. I didn't think last year. I think last year we kind of jumped the gun. But this year, 43 versus LeBron, like, he's knocked out some of the greatest players ever. I think, like, those face of the league conversations are real now. So I do want to give him his flowers there. And he's a dude, again, the reason I take guys like Ant and Tatum over Luka is because he plays on both sides. You know, he can't. There's no situation where he's unplayable. Yeah. And that's very important, and especially in the playoffs. And I think we're seeing that more. And that's why I like the Thunder a lot this year, because they have 10 guys who are playable in the playoffs.
And they play both sides of the ball.
Exactly. Everyone on that roster does.
Exactly.
So I think that's essential to make a deep playoff run. Yeah, and I think that's why draft picks are more important than ever, because there's a lot of players just building their game to be that.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But I love the way Minnesota's team looked. Yeah. I loved how physical they were. Like, I know there's going to be Lakers fans complaining about it, but they backed up what all the ESPN, like, all of ESPN chose Lakers in 5, 6, 7. They backed it up. They used that as motivation. I respect them for it. Yeah. And I wish them luck. Like, they played really good basketball, and I can't hate them for it. Like, just like the Denver Nuggets last year, like, they played good basketball. Yeah. So, I mean, I know Lakers fans, we're going to be mad about it, but they played good. Like, they didn't play dirty. They didn't do anything. Like, no foul play. They played good.
And I want to double down on what you said. I also think the Lakers played bad. Like, if the Lakers had a great series and Minnesota had a great series, I think the hate is more just because you feel bad. But the Lakers, the way the Lakers played in this series, there isn't a lot of playoff teams they would have beat. You know, I think Houston probably would have beat them. Like there's a lot of, they just like looked lazy. They were easy targets, a lot of them. Yeah. So I think maybe they probably would have played harder against Houston, but this version of the Lakers was pretty bad.
Yeah. There's obviously Austin Reeves, Rui. I think everybody except for LeBron and Luka should be safe. I mean, should be up for trade talks, bro.
You taking Minnesota or Golden State in the next round in a series?
As a Laker fan, I'm taking Minnesota. As a basketball fan, I think it's up in the air because with the Golden State Warriors, they have a pretty good whistle a couple times. So I think Jimmy could mess them up. And Jaden, as good defense as Jaden,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, as good defense as Jaden McDaniels and like Rudy and some of the other guys, Julius Randle played. I think that Golden State can get them into foul trouble.
I think I would take Minnesota.
I want to take Minnesota, but it's like
it's close.
That whistle makes me a little nervous.
I'm not tripping about the whistle. I think Minnesota's one of the few teams that Draymond won't get under their skin. They got too much confidence. And is he the best locker room leader in basketball right now? It's like,
I want to say yes, but I feel like it's Jokic.
Jokic just like,
because low-key he was yelling at his team, and next thing you know, now they won 2 games in a row.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like he's gonna be able to elevate his guys so they don't get fucked with. I think they have a better depth. And again, like I talked about, you look at who's the weakest player or who has the weakest link. I think Draymond you could sit on. I think like the Timberwolves have guys to sub in for Rudy if Rudy doesn't match up well in that series. Yeah, I want to give flowers to Rudy because I didn't think Rudy was going to be playable in this series. As a Rudy, I think I'm more of a Rudy guy than most people. Yeah. But he was so good on the switches, whether Luka was knocking down the shots or not, Rudy Gobert was there. I'm very happy with what I saw from Rudy. And honestly, I thought we were going to start seeing like the slow Rudy Gobert start phasing out of the league. Nah, he's here to stay. Shout out Rudy. We're running – how much time we at? Let's talk about the Pacers Bucks. Yep. Because that series deserves more love than 12 minutes.
Crap.
But that was an amazing series.
Yes.
Pacers choke. Doc Rivers. I feel like every team needs to realize Doc Rivers is a bad coach. I feel like Doc Rivers needs to be phased out of the NBA. You know, like Doc Rivers to me, it's like I understand the way they hired him was a little unconventional. You fire your coach after being the 1 seed. And you're kind of like, okay, we'll just hire Doc Rivers because he's the biggest name. That's the vibe I got. But man, he does not know how to coach a playoff team. Like, you lose in the first round consistently every single year. I think I saw he has like, I don't know the number, but I saw some pretty bad
he had
stats.
Like the most like playoff it was like coaches losing in like the most playoff losses or something.
I'm gonna see if I saved it.
I remember it was on Twitter. I know what you're talking about. It was like a 37-14 record.
That was fake. That was fake.
Was my bad.
Because I got the fucking community notification this morning, but I saw something similar to that where it was like Doc Rivers. I think he has like 20 playoff series losses and 10 playoff series wins or something like that. But that also could be wrong. Okay. Anyway, he's just a bad coach. Terrible coach. Tyrese Halliburton looked great this series. Tyrese Halliburton, Siakam, Miles Turner, Nesmith, Nembhard, like their team similar to the Thunder where I could see them like all these players are playable in the playoffs. Yeah. They have 8-9 deep of guys. Benny, like guys that
TJ
McConnell, Obi, like all of those guys could get serious playoff reps on any team. Let's talk about the antics a little bit between Giannis, Tyrese's dad, Benedict Mathurin.
Benedict Mathurin was involved?
You didn't see the play where Giannis dapped up Benny at the end of the game? And from what I saw, it looked like Benedict said something slick because he kind of smirked.
Was that when they met in the middle?
Yeah. And Giannis just was not letting go of his jersey.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah. But, I mean, I want to give a shout out to Giannis, man. Like, he's right. He won a championship. Like, these guys haven't. Yeah. Credit to the Pacers for winning the series. But being sore winners, I guess, is pretty lame.
Yeah. I do like that Tyrese like kind of apologized and like said my dad was in the wrong. So I respect that. He had every right or every like moment to just be like, nah, he didn't win. Like if he's gonna cry like that, just win next time or something. But he was like, nah, my dad was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you think about it, it was literally Giannis versus 5 people.
Yeah.
It was Giannis versus.
Yeah. Where were the other Bucks at? Only one I saw was Taurean Prince breaking it up.
Oh yeah, AJ. Oh, you talking about in that middle?
Yeah.
I mean, there was Kevin Porter Jr. Shout out to him. Like he had his back.
Yeah.
I know he did stuff off the court that is not good at all. Not good at all.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't condone it at all. But as a basketball player,
he had a great series.
He was there and he had a great series.
Not fuck. I'm trying to get away from that. But Kyle Kuzma had a terrible series. He was abysmal. He had one good game, and I was like, okay, maybe we gotta play on Kuzma. But nah, he was unbearable this series.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez, I think it's time for them to move on from him. I could see him needing a change of scenery just as much as they do. Yeah. Gary Trent Jr. had a great game, had a bad game. I'm hoping Dame's probably not going to be back until late next year, but that matters. I don't know what's going on,
bro,
with Milwaukee.
Looking at Milwaukee's financial and just future,
it's rebuild time. I think, like, if they had AJ Johnson still, then I would have felt a little bit better because now you could move Giannis and like talk fans into like, hey, we got this 19-year-old guard who looked great at the end of the season. Like maybe we just build around him and see what happens. But like it's hard to build this team now. Like you really have to figure it out, and they're gonna have money to like sign free agents and stuff because everyone's walking.
Yeah.
But I just don't know who's realistic to go there.
That's tough, man. Like, it just sucks because, like, Dame, he's getting paid more than Giannis. And then the third highest player, like, the player below Giannis who's getting paid a lot is Kyle Kuzma. And it's ridiculous. So, I don't know. I don't blame Giannis if he leaves.
I wouldn't either.
I really don't. I'm not saying he's going to be a Laker. I don't think that's possible. But I think that he should go somewhere. I think he should leave to like Miami or
Brooklyn. I saw people
Brooklyn.
I don't think he's gonna end up leaving. I mean, we're gonna talk about this next week, right? With the what's next for the teams that lose. But do you think the Pacers have a chance against Cleveland?
Yes, I think they do. I think that the series can go to 6 or 7. But if it does end up in a sweep, what could happen? Like, what do you do? Because now, I mean, you went to the conference finals last year, and then now you get swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, what do you do?
I think if they lose, you rock out because their guys are so young. You know, like Tyrese is still going to be there. Sure, Siakam's maybe getting a little old, but I think you have the pieces to convince yourself. Like this was the problem Atlanta had, where Atlanta made the conference finals, and they were like, oh, we need more of that, so they traded everything. You know, like I think if Indiana is smart, they just rock out, and you just keep hitting on your draft picks and developing your guys because Tyrese is probably there to stay. You know, they got a good team, man. They got a really good team, and they got like you could fill in easily too. Like if you sign someone, you're not worried about if they'll fit. Like any position they sign is gonna fit because you're playing next to Tyrese Halliburton.
Did want to ask before we do end, but what did you think of those last 39 seconds of Game 5?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. You watched that whole 39 seconds?
I didn't watch all of it. I was at Lucille's.
You had that good biscuit with that little sugary butter.
That apple butter, boy.
Big bag activities for me.
For me
but
too.
So I was like doing homework, like working on our film website. If you guys want to follow that, by the way.
There you go.
Film Pop. But I was watching the game at the same time, and bro, they were down by 7. I was thinking it's over. Like, I forgot who made the first 3. I think it was Andrew Nembhard. He made it. They're down by 4. Then Tyrese gets a clutch steal, goes down, makes a layup, and you're like, oh shoot, they could probably win this. All the Bucks have to do, and I felt bad for Gary Trent Jr. because he was the reason for that turnover, but all they have to do is hold the ball, go to the free throw line. They pass the ball in to Kevin Porter Jr. on the other side. He passes it over to Gary Trent Jr., and he loses the ball, and I'm thinking, oh no.
I saw Tyrese score. It's tough, man.
That was painful, bro. I felt bad. I really did, but that was a crazy game. I've never seen a comeback like that.
Yeah.
That was wow.
Shout out Tyrese. I do feel like he's been an up and down player for me this season. I'm back on the train with Tyrese. I know next season he's gonna have a streak where he averages 4, and I'm like shitting on him again. But no, I'm gonna try to stay away from that. Tyrese has been very good. Playing very good basketball this season. He's a player that I think I got high stock on. I think he's gonna be like a champion eventually. Even if it's in Indiana, it's in Indiana. But I just think dudes like that who make the right plays every single time down the court, it makes a game hard to lose.
Yeah.
You know? But you guys let us know what you think at home. Maybe I ended it with a wild hot take. But can Tyrese Halliburton win a championship with the Pacers? Comment down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, join the Discord. Shout out Boom Camp Fantasy. Use code RTP.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to add, Phil?
Yes, sir. Make sure to add us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to hit that bell as well. I'm your man, Phil. This the man, Ant-Man, straight out the MCU. We out, and let's bounce.
Bounce, baby. Boom.